You either have your other.
Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay. My name is Preston Stockton. I have a bachelor's degree in botany from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Did an internship at Monticello because of my interest in historic gardening. And have a landscape gardening degree, AAS, from St. Hills Community College. And then spent the rest of my career, which was 37 years, at Nolde Gardens, which is owned by Wake Forest University. I took a lot of taxonomy when I was at Carolina, and we learned a lot about native plants. And so, yes, I did know that there was the ginseng grew natively in North Carolina, and that it was had been, especially for the mountain people, a good crop for them to dig and sell. And then through the years, it got to the point that people were poaching it off of other people's land. And today, you know, one of the issues is that a lot of the native folks who live in western North Carolina still feel like, because they've done it for generations, that they still should have an opportunity to collect from wild, even not on their own land, and that it's become a real issue. So I've read that, especially on state land, that a lot of times people, because poaching has become such an issue, will dig the roots, or when they set roots, will spray paint them orange and plant them, and then that way, if they end up in the trade with an orange paint, then people know that they've been poached.
Do you think a lot of knowledge about ginseng is specifically retained to like locals in rural North Carolina where it's grown?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ginseng is, it's very specific and it's very finicky, very magical. So you're going to find it more under poplar and maple trees down here because those trees give off calcium. Ginseng likes calcium. All the hardwood trees are not favorites of ginseng, and you can imagine specifically the oaks with their leathery leaves, the little seedlings can't break through that in early spring, and they just don't come up.
Name, occupation.
Yeah, Robert Itis, and land steward to Eagle Feather Farm, president of the North Carolina Ginseng Golden Seal Company, founder of the North Carolina Ginseng Association. Then America, of course, was not interested in the Native American medicine because that would kind of make them smarter than they were. And so it took a long time into the 1800s that Native American was now commonplace in medicine. But it was prolific. Before the white man came, it was a weed in the forest. And there would be a tall one, an old one, and then they would go on down, and so their leaves wouldn't touch each other, and you need like 176 plants to make a community now. When Jacob Astor took his ship loaded with ginseng around Africa and got to China, that was like a 5-mast ship. He got, I believe it was $160,000 for one shipload. the Chinese used it as part of a formula. The Native Americans would give it to their runners when they ran from village to village. Some people in China that had plants that looked like man, they would wear it around their neck as an emblem. And so they thought, oh, ginseng is just superstitious. So why don't we sell this wonderful, powerful herb for humans, because we don't understand what it is. It's it was just a export item. So the way we imported slaves, we exported ginseng. It's really hard to imagine that by ginseng still being allowed to be exported since the CITES Treaty started, there's never been a reseeding program by the government. It is an endangered, threatened species as far as I'm concerned, since it's on the CITES list, and the populations are supposed to be maintained, but they don't do anything to do that. They don't have, in North Carolina, they don't even have a harvesting permit. Other laws are that it's supposed to start September 1, the season, to let the berries fall naturally. People are harvesting way out of season. And it also has a long growing from seed to seedling, 18 months. Germination rates are not that great. But we as humans can stratify, take the seeds, put them in sand, make sure that you dig a hole and that the rain can go through the top, and there's a screen on the top and the bottom. And that will prevent them from drying out in the summertime. And you're now talking 90% germination. Really, really high. Humans can help this plant by stratification. To be sustainable now, leave the root in the ground, cut the leaves, use the leaves for medicine. And you need dried leaf, so you have to dry it out. We put them in flats and just put it in the attic, and they dry in a couple of days actually. And then you have to crumble them up and put them into tea. And the ginsenicides are in the leaf as well as in the plant. But as the plant gets bigger, the root doesn't have the full complement of ginsenicides at first. It takes 6.5 years to get that full complement. This one, on the other hand, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 16, 17, 33, 34.
34? That's awesome.
So if you have a bed and you seeded it, all of those plants are going to be growing exactly the same height. And that's the home of a fungus. And that'll just, there's airborne funguses, there's soil-borne funguses. So ginseng has a big problem with funguses. But 90% of all the ginseng in the world has been sprayed with a fungicide. The cultivated ginseng looks different than the wild, and you can visually look at it. It also tastes different. The cultivated will be sweeter because of the majority of the ginseng in the world is grown in sheds, under cloth, or in forests, in monoculture. And once the yellow starts happening, showing the funguses hitting it, they start spraying because they'll take down a whole big bed, thousands of plants. But that is one of the factors of the cultivated ginseng, whether it's Asian or American, which will have cultivated and organic or wild simulated. Two different products with the same name. If you ever get like slices of Asian ginseng that are really big, like big carrot size, you know that all of that's been sprayed.
Have people tried to steal ginseng from your land?
People have.
Really?
Yeah.
Often?
No. Once.
Once.
Yeah. and I tracked him down, and the police went to talk to him, and he came back here, cut my water lines, and then split. So technically, when they come to sell me ginseng, and they tell me it's from their own land. Everybody tells me the same thing. That there's nobody who admits that they were poaching on somebody else's land without their permission. So you need a written permission. You have to carry that with you when you go, and you can only go to the land that's on the written permission. Because I don't have a lot of ginseng that's old. The reason I don't is I have a ginseng license, and I can purchase it from the people who normally sell it to the Chinese. This is a prized root. So that's about 20 years old. The longer the neck with the more curls, this is another primo looking ginseng. License is only for buying. You have to fill out paperwork if you want to get the FIDO to allow it to leave the state.
Okay.
We're advocating now to keep all of the ginseng roots in the state and not let any of them. It's huge how much misinformation, and even the money for the dealers and everything really don't go to support more education, more conservation. It's maybe for some a little bit too late to realize how powerful our plant allies are. It's a sad, sad, sad situation for the plant. And I think a sad situation for the human beings that are not getting the benefit of this wonderful plant. So that's a prize I don't normally get. And then when I go to sell them, you know, we count the years and we put them in a bag, and we sell, you know, that's a 12-year-old, this is a 17-year-old. That's an ounce of ginseng from West Virginia. There's ginseng available in America, and that we've sold for this year for the first time, where breaking it down, there'd be 300 seeds there, and here we're just going to sell 125 of the roots. And you could take this back and put it in the ground, and you, in the springtime, would get a root, a plant.
Oh my gosh.
So there's 3 different ones.
Stuff with
purple. And you didn't want to get it on your clothes unless you wanted it colored.
unless you wanted them to be pinky purple.
She sent me a picture of this
Yeah.
yesterday.
used to be 365 when the Lord came and took him back to heaven alive. I saw the light from heaven shining all around. I saw the light come shining.
This is an oak.
I saw that light come down.
Flopped over.
Oh.
When Paul prayed in prison, them prison walls fell down. The prison keeper shouted, redeeming love I found.
You could have your other picture of before, and this is
I
it
saw the light
turning
from heaven shining all
yellow. They're kind of
around.
scattered all over. You can see them now that they're turning
I
yellow.
saw the light come shining. I saw the light come down.
With the Jaspers. Trims on these dead
When
logs.
Moses saw that a burning bush, he walked it round and round. And the Lord said to Moses, "You's treading holy ground." I saw the light from heaven shining all around. I saw the light come shining. I saw the light come down. Dry bones in that valley got up and took a little walk. The deaf could hear and the dumb could talk. I saw the light from heaven shining all around. I saw the light come shining.